Today is a Saturday morning, and I decided to tell you a little bit about my life and how this all started of me being a profitable day trader, but not only that, a mentor that helps people get funded. Before I became this person, my life was completely different. You would never expect me to be the person who I was before compared to the person I am now. So let's go for a ride. I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'm gonna have some breakfast, and I'm gonna talk to you a little bit. Let's get it. So before this whole trading shebang, I actually was a personal trainer. And for 10 years, I dedicated my life to personal training. I had my own business, and I remember working 12-hour shifts. Now, most of you guys know that working a 12-hour shift gets you really dirty tired. Like, I was tired. And I remember as I used to train my clients, I started scrolling down through my Instagram and I started seeing people making money. Now, of course, there's different types of people. There's people that don't make money in day trading, and there's people that are. But I followed these specific gurus that they were real. I seen their withdrawals and they lived the life. And after just sitting down and thinking to myself, why am I working 12 hours a day? And these people are making tons of money within an hour or two. What am I doing? So I decided to basically close my whole business down. Now, this business was successful. I made about 6 figures a year. It was a gym with a restaurant inside called Supreme Fitness. You guys can look it up. And I'm the type of person that if I want to follow something and if I want to just change my life, I'm going to go for it. So I decided to go for it. I closed my business down and I said to myself, I'm going to move to Miami and I'm going to focus on day trading. Specifically, I'm going to just move to Miami. Why? Why Miami? Well, this is just personal preference. My family lives here. It felt more comfortable and out of my normal, which was my neighborhood where I grew up at. You want to get out of you pretty much want to get out of your neighborhood when you want to succeed, right? So I decided to close everything down and I moved to Miami. Now, what happened after that is crazy. After closing down my business, I realized I had a certain amount of money and it just wasn't enough. Because if you move somewhere, you guys know, if you move to a new area, this is kind of like, where I live in Doral, beautiful place, pool area, bar. If you guys move to a whole different state, it's life-changing, you have a lot of responsibilities. So I decided to move here and I decided to dedicate myself to day trading. Now what happened is crazy. I had to stoop down my life. What does that mean? Well, I realized that me having a certain amount of money is gonna run out. You can't just move into a different state and then tell yourself, I am going to do this or become this person. And then later on realize that you don't have enough money. So my money started running low. And I was like, wow, what am I gonna do? So I decided to work at a gym. So think about this. A businessman who owned his own gym with a restaurant inside, 5,000 square foot gym. I moved to a different state to dedicate myself to be a profitable day trader, but then I had to minimize my life. So I decided to work at a gym. But they say usually blessings comes undisguised. So when I worked at this gym, I started, I felt bad. I told myself wow, I'm gonna work at a gym, getting paid freaking $13 an hour, with commission. I mean, most of you guys know how these gyms work, right? You got to bring members inside, all these things. And I realized, wow, I'm going to have to be getting paid $300. How am I going to become a day trader? Well, long story short, all the traders went to that gym. All the traders. And I was like, ain't this person I seen? Wait, isn't this person I learned from YouTube? Wait a minute, I learned from him in YouTube. And then I realized, wait a minute, maybe God has me here for a reason. Well, as I started talking to them, giving them free memberships, to be honest with you, I didn't care. I remember my boss was coming up to me and was like, why do you know all these people and you're not selling no memberships? I'm like, well, I'm giving them 30-day trial. How do you give everybody a 30-day trial? The truth is I did not care, right? I was just trying to, network and get to know people and helping them out too, right? If they're giving me information and they're telling me about day trading and giving me some strategies and stuff like that, why am I gonna live by the rules and you gotta pay this membership? No. So what did I do? I gave away 30-day passes to everyone, 30-day free passes, 30-day free passes. And, I remember going to this specific trader and I was like, hey, like I just moved over here and, I don't know where to go, what to do. I'm trying to learn day trading. I'm learning, and he said, look, man, stick by my side. I'm going to show you some things or two. And pretty much I learned really good strategies that I adapted myself. Now, throughout then, I made a lot of mistakes. Some people I paid, this is before I actually worked at the gym, some people I paid to teach me that I thought were real traders, and I didn't learn nothing, only to lose about $3,000. But long story short, after sacrificing my gym, working at a gym, having to stoop down the level, and then after that, meeting people in person that I used to see in YouTube was like the biggest blessing in the world, right? So all of a sudden, I learned from this specific trader and he started telling me, look, these are the strategies that I use, and of course, everybody has a different strategy. You might meet a trader that has another strategy, but you take that strategy and you adopt it into your own habits, the way that you react to the market. And that's what I did. So after a little while, I started gaining my traction, teaching people. And I realized wow, I remember when I was first starting to trade, looking for help was impossible. I mean, you guys know this. How many times you go to YouTube and you see everybody having the answer? And when I was first learning how to trade, I didn't have any type of guidance. I had to actually try to learn myself and make mistakes until I met these specific traders. And after I moved into, Miami, where I'm at today, it got a little easier because nobody was trustworthy. Think about you reaching out to people, which I know you guys have done. You reach out to people and what they charge. They charge $5,000 for like 4 sessions. That's impossible. How are you going to be able to, even trade that, right? So anyhow, I was like, I couldn't find a mentor when I was starting to learn how to trade. What if I became the mentor that I was always looking for? So after being profitable and in the process of 3.5 years, losing over $100,000. How did I lose $100,000? Well, easy. I made a lot of mistakes. I would blow accounts from blowing accounts. I would deposit $15,000 of my hard-earned money as being a personal trainer. I would think I know how to trade. I will blow it again. Then I'll buy prop firms. Then the prop firms I'll explode. Then buy more prop firms and keep on burning my accounts until I got tired. Now imagine how that feels. You blowing money and pretty much making yourself broke because you think you have all the answers. I did not have all the answers, right? I didn't have all the answers. So after losing tons of money and I decided to become profitable by clearing out my mind, relaxing and being humble, then I said to myself, what if I could become the mentor that I'm looking for, right? What if I can help people and just cut their time a quarter? Because it took me 3 years to learn. And I started just learning how to trade and then also adapting the way that I teach to others. Now think about that. You have people that are ordinary people that don't know nothing about trading, right? And I'm able to grab them and transform them into profitable day traders in 90 days or less. Think about that. So anyways, I'm gonna get more specific about that. I'm gonna get me a coffee. Let's go. So me, I took it to another level. So after making over $100,000, literally these last 4 months, I decided, how can I help people do the same? When I was actually struggling to become a day trader and I could not find no freaking help. It's insane, right? So I got an office in downtown Miami and I started teaching people. I also started teaching people my same strategy. I mean, no gatekeeping, right? If I can help students get funded in less than 90 days and change their life, to me, that's rewarding because I was trying to find that help and couldn't find nobody at all who's transparent and who's real. What's up, guys? So I'm in Starbucks right now, guys. I'm gonna order my favorite. So pretty much, guys, like after, realizing that I can help people in less than 90 days, I got an office in downtown Miami and now I do both, right? So what I usually do is I either teach people in person, but then I realized there was a lot of people requesting, like, hey man, like I'm an entrepreneur as well as you, or even psychologists or engineers, and they needed help too, but they're stuck in different type of countries, right? So what's the better way to do it? Well, I started a university. Now this university, it literally cuts the time of the average person learning. So how about this? They usually say statistics that 5 to 10% of traders become funded. That's 5 to 10%. And then 3% actually make a withdrawal. Usually, when they join my university, my students, they're legit funded in about 90 days or less and able to make a withdrawal probably on the 5th or 6th month. That's life-changing. And that to me gives me warmth in my heart to be able to help you fix your life. I mean, I have people that they wanted to go on vacation. They have not been able to go on vacation. They went on vacation, made withdrawals while on vacation. And that to me is rewarding. So yeah, guys, I'm working out right now. Frank Gideon over here, I'm gonna train him today. He said he wants to go hard, so we're gonna do that. But pretty much my gym was actually this big. If you really wanna, I'll show you guys in the post, but it was about 5,000 square feet, just about like this, had a restaurant inside. But think about it. If you're in a place like this every single day and you're working 12 hours a day, wouldn't you get tired too? I was tired. I was tired of staying in the same place every single day. Now, of course, it's different when you're training yourself. But if you're running your own business and you're working 12 hours a day and you're seeing clients back to back, wouldn't that make you tired too if you're going home at 9 p.m. and coming into work at 6 a.m. in the morning? That was my life. I was tired of feeling trapped in walls like this, all right? And that's when I found day trading. I started searching online and I realized if I can make, at that time I was making about $1,500. I would say maybe like every 4 days or 5 days, if that was a great week during, January or February. But if I can make that in an hour, 2 hours, just sitting down, wouldn't that change your life too? So that's what I did. I closed my whole gym down. It looked just like this, pretty much. You guys will see some photos I'll probably put up. And I closed everything down and I gave it up for day trading. But guess what? Within these last 4 months, I made over $100,000. Crazy, right? And I lost $100,000 learning in 3 years because I didn't have somebody to guide me. And that's why I became the mentor that I was looking for. So now, how has my life changed ever since I became a profitable day trader and I made over $100,000 in 4 months? How has my life has changed? Well, I have a lot of time on my hands. So I traded some sacrifice so I could have a lot of time on my hands now. And what was that? That was basically studying to become a day trader. Now, I don't know what to do. When I'm done day trading and I'm making my money for the day, usually on average, I make about $800 to $1,000 a day right now. I go ahead and enjoy my day, right? So in a month, I make probably right now as a trader, close to $20,000, right? On a bad month, because right now is the holidays, so the markets are kind of slow. On a good month with day trading, I'll probably say I make around like about $38,000 to $45,000. I do make day trading in a month, on a good month. And this is when the market is going crazy. So we're talking about April, we're talking about March, February starts getting good. Right now during the holidays, the markets are kind of smooth. But the thing is, at the end of the day, is the free time that I have. Just last month, I was able to go to Dominican Republic for 15 days. A year ago, I went to London, and then I went to Puerto Rico as well. You have a lot of time in your hands to be, and to do what you want to do, and to see your family, and that's the reason why I wanted this life. I wanted to have free time. I wanted to sometimes not do nothing, after having a profitable day. So at the end of the day, it all depends on what freedom do you want. Do you want to free yourself, or do you want to stay accustomed and comfortable? So at the end of the day, guys, it's like how serious you are about changing your life. I literally got it tatted, as you guys can see. Definitely says $1 million trader. That's because I dedicated myself to become a millionaire in day trading. Now, I can't tell you that I'm there yet. But man, within 4 months making over 100K, to me, that's a big difference. So right now what I did is I started a Supreme Elite University, and it's a whole free course. You actually get to join and learn from A through Z, basically everything about day trading, even if you don't know anything at all. So I want you guys to go check it out, and I want you guys to actually look at it, because I teach about, the psychology of it, what I went through, so you don't have to go through it. I always say this, I do not want you to go through what I went through. And that's the reason why I created this whole program, because it's for a shortcut. Instead of you wasting 2 years, 3 years of going to YouTube looking for different type of programs, within 3 months or less, my students are able to withdraw money and become a funded day trader. And that's the deal. And I want you guys to go check it out. So there's gonna be a link here at the bottom, all the information that you need so you can start getting warmed up. And guys, enjoy the ride. And I can tell you 100%, I know that when you're done with that, you're gonna have your whole different eyesight on what trading really is, a whole different view. Try it out.